Hey, it's Patrick from J&P Cycles. I'm gonna answer a question that I get asked all the time. Do I need a fuel injection controller? And there's a couple of things to unpack there. One, my de facto answer, if you're gonna hold me to a one-word answer, is yes. But there was a word in that question that we need to unpack a little more, and that word is need. That's where it gets kind of gray. Now, need as in, do you need it for your bike to run better? Yes. Do I need it or my bike's gonna magically explode? Probably not. So let's kind of get into that a little bit more. And let's talk about the state of tune your motorcycle is in when it gets to you from the factory. Now, all these bikes are basically tuned to be what's referred to as Stoich. And that is the air-fuel ratio of 14:7:1. In most cases, that's the target. And what that means in really kind of broken down layman's terms is that's the air-fuel ratio where all of the fuel is burned up. And that's okay in theory, and that's okay in a vacuum, that's okay even at idle. But in real world scenarios where you start to put load on the motor, you're going to need to add more fuel than that. Generally, anything that is a number lower than 14.7:1 is considered rich. Anything that's higher is considered lean. But like I said, that is more or less in a vacuum. And most tuners around the country, especially in the higher RPMs and higher throttle positions, are going to tune, if you're at a wide open throttle, closer to 13:1. So that's why some of you bagger guys with stock tunes are getting heat coming up off the bike, cooking the insides of your legs, things like that. Now, that's just for a stock bike. So you could actually benefit from a tune, something like an FP3 that has maps already in it made by Vance and Hines, and I'll link you to some of those videos and kind of expand on FP3 that put your bike in a better state of tune that's perfect for your bike. Now don't get this confused with flash tunes from dealers. Flash tunes from dealers are just kind of what it is. It's a big map. They just maybe add a certain percentage of fuel across the board and throw it at everybody's bike. A tune in a fuel injection controller is gonna have much more specific tunes. Not only is it gonna get your bike to run cooler, it's probably gonna get better mileage and better performance also. But like I said, that's just a stock bike. So right there, a stock bike can benefit from the tune in a fuel injection controller right off the bat. Not to mention a lot of the other functionality that fuel injection controllers have. Again, I'm gonna reference the FP3. You can do things like dial in the throttle progressivity on your throttle. If you have an electronic throttle, you can change rev limiters, all kinds of other hot rod stuff in there. So yes, you can benefit from a fuel injection controller. But we all know most of us don't keep our bike stock. And more often than not just cruiser guys, but everybody across the board, what's the first thing we do? Most of us put on mufflers. Mufflers are full exhaust, followed, if not right away, shortly thereafter, by an intake. And what that does is it increases the airflow through your bike. So you've probably heard, if you've been around motorcycles or cars for any amount of time, that engines are big air pumps, and they are. And the more air you can pump through them, the more power you can make. You make that power by adding fuel. So think of it as your bike has an air curve on a graph. Let's say there's an X and Y axis and the air curve goes like this. Well, if your new air curve, once you add mufflers, goes like this, well, your stock map was made to match the original air curve. So now you've increased the amount of airflow through your bike, but you haven't increased the fuel. You'll probably hear a sound difference. You may even feel a little bit of a seat of the pants difference. But to truly get the benefits of the money you spent on your intake and exhaust, you're gonna need a fuel injection controller to get tuned to that new airflow and take advantage of all that new air running through your bike. And that's where something, again, like an FP3, or maybe even something way more hot rod, like a Thunder Max, you can run wideband closed loop, or Fuel Pack Pro is really gonna come into play. For those scenarios, it's really gonna take advantage of the muffler and intake and have it performing at its highest level. Now again, we're gonna go back to need here. Do you need one if you just have mufflers on your bike, or if you just have an intake? Well, I can't honestly sit here and say something bad won't happen to your bike. Probably won't. It is gonna run lean. It is gonna run hot. Over the long haul, it's probably not gonna be great for that piston in there, probably not gonna be great for your valves. But need is a strong word. But you would benefit greatly, again, even more than the stock bike, with a fuel injection controller with pipes and an intake. Last step, if you start doing things like a cam or a big bore or a stroker kit, something like that. But let's just say you want to do a bolt-in cam. You want to do S&S cam kit or something like that. That is where I would apply the word need. Your stock tune is in no way capable of keeping up with a cam or something like that, because normally, if you're smart, you're putting a cam in, you already have those mufflers, you already have those headers, you already have that intake, and you're adding that in addition to adding this cam, which is going to keep your valves open longer, opening them bigger, allowing that much more air in there. Now you're getting to the point where, yes, you're going to need a fuel injection controller. And again, don't be caught with these flash dump tunes where they say, oh, flash your bike with a stage 1 or flash your bike with a stage 2. To me, stage 1, stage 2 in those situations, that's just garbage language. You're getting kind of a junk tune. A fuel injection controller is going to allow you to leverage maps made by Vance and Hines, or leverage wideband O2 sensors that are going to allow you to dial those bikes in and get the most for your money. So I hope I've answered some of your questions on, do I need a fuel injection controller? If not, feel free to drop me a comment and go work on those motorcycles.